Welcome to ADlibnd, where a group of amateur role-playing enthusiasts is running a weekly live-stream D&D 5e game with a twist. The viewing public can vote on a large group of random concepts before the episode takes place. Once tallied, the DM will select 5 of the 10 most popular and tailor that episode of the game against the chosen ideas. Anything can happen, no episode will be the same. You can find where to vote on Discord on the Filthy Pig Discord server. Now, let's try and catch up about what's happened so far, since we may have a few new viewers. The group that have been playing on this adventure at the moment is called Dodgy Brothers, the Solution Architects, and they have just formed over the last few weeks or so. They unfortunately lost one of their members, a wizard by the name of Dimble, but soon afterwards, on their first quest to retrieve some magical teleporting clothes, they came across one half-elf by the name of Jace, who managed to help them in retrieving the last item and presenting it to their original employer. After that adventure, they were asked to clear out a group of brigands to the north, and managed to do that quite successfully. And then it followed on. There was a particular gnome who wanted to explore a old wizard's tower to the south, and were joined by a couple of adventurers at the time. One Riki, and that is a forest gnome, and a half-elf by the name of Illyria. Now they managed to find the wizard's tower and help their employee, and returned home. Illyria travelled on with the employer at that time, whereas Riki decided to stay with the Dodgy Brothers. Then we had a bit of a time skip, and we have recently returned to their city that they originate from, Medagno, and they're currently investigating the mysterious disappearance of the star performer for a group of actors and circus performers that have arrived, a group of halflings. Now, the name of the person who's missing is Feldisha York, and the team have been interviewing people along the way to find out where Feldisha is and who might have taken her away. So they've spoken to about 4 people at this point in time. The owner of the bazaar, Wetterline, one of 2 of the performers, Edna and Lewis, and one of the people who deals with cleaning out the animal cages and such, by the name of Merrick. So they, where we find ourselves at the moment is the group of 3, Wabani, Alarak, and Riki, just leaving Lewis Twostone's carriage in the bazaar. And as the party is heading back from that interview, Wabani catches sight of a familiar half-elf figure who seems to have his arm around a female halfling, and they seem to be quite close, as they are somewhat drunkenly stumbling towards the city. It takes you a little bit of time, and you actually pick up on the fact that it's Jace with a female halfling in tow. I'll leave it to you, Wabani.
Jace? Is that you, Jace? What the? I thought you're here in the camp?
Ah, Wabani! Hey! Oh, well, wonderful to see you. Hey, I just got back in town, and I've been, enjoying the bazaar and all the delights it brings.
Are you sure? It seems that who is this that you're with there?
Oh, this is what was your name again, love?
Oh Lord,
Carol. I've told you at least 3 times.
This is Carol. This is Carol, the light of my eyes and love of my life.
Carol, if he's wearing his time thin, and I'll certainly take him off of your hand. I've known this carouser sometimes, so up to you if you're happy to entertain him. But if you are, and Jace, if you don't want to kind of give us a hand, you always tend to have a wineskin that's full. I'm thinking I kind of lost my flat not long ago. Oh, wait, it's not. What do you call it? It's not a flat here. What do you guys call it again?
A flask?
Slab.
No, slab. Yeah, I lost my slab just moments earlier, and so yeah. If you've got that wineskin, I could probably use a little bit by about now.
Jace, do you know these people?
Oh, these are some business associates. Actually, these are the people I was telling you that could maybe help out. I've maybe got a job that we could do with the Dodgy Brothers. Did you know that one of the halfling performers has gone missing?
Wow.
Well, no, you're kidding me, really? And this Carol person has hired us?
Hired? No. I just thought that we could find someone who might be prepared to pay us some money to help out.
Listen, Jace, if we're done here, I'll have my 10 gold now, thanks.
Hey, what?
You heard me. That was the agreement we had.
I made no such agreement. Carol, you're trying to embarrass me in front of my friends.
She just looks at you expectantly, her foot tapping.
You have to pay, Jace?
My services don't come free.
Jace is all very offended. Carol, now I don't know what gave you the idea that I was paying for your services. I thought I was quite a charming companion.
You're better than most, but listen, if this is your attitude, I'm going to leave.
I'll hand her. I'll give her 10 gold, and it's all right, Carol. Very much appreciate you taking care of this friend of mine, my associate. Here, please take this 5 gold and be on your way.
It was 10 gold.
Right, here you go. 6 gold. Right. Sorry about that.
She looks at you, snatches the money out of your hand, rolls her eyes, and wanders off.
Whew. I thought we might have a problem there, Jace. Damn it, man.
Well, buddy,
look.
What are you trying to do here?
Here, what I'm trying to sneak back Alarak and to it loose his wagon. Perhaps I was on.
You're breaking up a little bit there, Dagger. Is anyone else hearing that?
Yes,
No,
I'm
hearing it too.
Oh, really? Is it?
It's a little bit better, but yeah.
Okay.
How about Alarak fills in what's happening?
Oh, are we up there with him as well? I thought we'd hung back. Okay.
No, you're all together. It's just Wabani noticed Jace.
Right.
Ah,
Gotcha.
Okay.
So what's been happening so far? We did, in fact, already know. Wabani was just pulling your leg there. We are actually hot on the case. We suspected Edna, who's the woman just back there who does a delightful show, apparently. We also suspected this drunk guy, and we suspected. We don't know. We've got so many suspects now. It's narrowing it down at this point. We don't know. Also,
is there a
the
butler?
credits.
I hear that they're usually a good suspect.
Riki's just looking slowly through her special little book of special words, and she just looks pointedly at Jace and says, "Twat waffle," and keeps shaking her head.
Couldn't agree more. Oh, yeah. You know what? We
Yeah,
So is
should
that
have.
either.
Sorry, dropped out, dropped back in. Hopefully it's better.
So that's where we are at so far. Just trying to find out, basically, where this missing performer is. And we have been hired by Wabani's old friend over in the guard tower.
Not my friend.
Oh, yes. Did he go with this time?
He was too chicken.
No. Don't call me yellow, Alaric. I'm not yellow. I might be pale. Certainly not yellow.
He was a bit yellow.
She's got it in for me, Jace. I don't want to face her again.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, really, we're solutions architects, and it's not unfair for Wabani to be playing to his strength. And if his strength is standing back and kind of
Holding the line.
being hulking and staring, that's his strength. So we'll respect that.
I think there was a meaning in that, Riki. Was that an insult?
No, certainly not.
I didn't see you scribbling in your book. Maybe it wasn't.
No. Definitely not an insult. Play to your strengths, Wabani.
Hold the line. Did you guys learn anything more about Lewis? I went to check the animals and... okay, I completely forget. What happened when I checked the animals?
So, when you went and checked the animals, you noticed that the bear that Edna uses in her act was a little bit woozy, and there seemed to be some crumbs on its face.
Oh, right. Oh, and was there feathers too?
No feathers, just crumbs.
They might pluck the blackbirds before they stick them in the pie.
Oh, you... Really? Yeah, that probably makes sense. I thought a pie with feathers sounded kind of weird.
No weirder than many
Seems
other
fine to
things.
me.
So what you're telling me is somebody brought a drugged pie. Somebody who we don't know brought a mysterious drugged pie, tried to give it to Feldisha York. We don't know if she got it or not. The bear certainly got it. And the bear fell asleep. And now Feldish is nowhere to be seen. So what I'm thinking is Jace could be right. Maybe it was a mysterious butler somewhere.
Well, who else but a butler would be carrying pies around the camp? Now, I ask you.
What else
Jace, why don't you go and find a butler for us?
Yes.
I will. I bet I can dig up a butler. You wait here. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh.
So if
Shit.
you are going to be looking for a butler, I'll have to ask you to roll an investigation check.
Okay. That's a 13.
Okay, so you spend the next half an hour to an hour looking through the bazaar. You run across quite a deal of halflings, but none of them are dressed as a butler.
Maybe there's a butler halfling who's not dressed as a butler.
So you go talk to them, and they indicate that there's no one who works as a butler at this bazaar. It's more so a group of people who don't have servants as such. The closest person to a butler would probably be someone along the lines of Merrick, who you interviewed before, who's not one of the performers, but deals with the animals and things of that nature.
Got it. I rush back to the others and say, "Hey, I've got it! It's a chap called Merrick. He's the butler."
Yeah, of course, Jace. You're 100% right. The butler named Merrick. Yeah, of course. Sigh. Alarak, Riki, did you kill Lewis?
No. Plus we left him with extra booze, so wait. Maybe we did kill him.
Maybe.
But at least not direct, well, maybe sort of directly, but not through violence.
Gotcha. And, I mean, the interrogation, it went well?
Well is a strong word.
Well, we didn't find a definitive positive, but we also don't think it was him or his owl.
There was
we did
no
attempt some motivational interviewing with the owl, which fell quite flat. But that's alright, they're both happy together, which is nice.
The owl didn't
Who?
give a hoot.
Owl didn't give a hoot, no.
Surprising. So there was no magic on those creatures. It just looks like the bear was drugged. So someone was trying. Well, who else? Do you remember where the pie was purchased?
Well, it's a mysterious pie of no known origin, I believe.
I've
not
got a
that-
suspicion about that.
Asshole, what's his face?
That would be a good one for the book. Asshole, what's his face?
Well, not Shifty. I mean, not Shifty's competitor. The ones you guys
You
had
don't
to go
suspect
and visit.
Dwayne.
No,
He is our new
Dwayne's,
friend.
Dwayne's lovely. We love
He is our
Dwayne.
new friend. There's no way it's Dwayne.
But wasn't the pie from his shop?
No, I don't think so.
Are there many other pie shops in town? We've lived there for a while. Would we know how many places you can generally get pies?
Well,
Yes,
surely any
for sure.
kitchen. People can
Dwayne.
bake pies.
You can make a history check to try and remember Alra.
Has to be Dwayne. I'm sure of it.
That is a 11 minus 1, 10.
So you think back quickly, and the only two places that you can recall that sell pies within Medano is Shifty-Eyed Pete with those delectable pies, and Dwayne. He sells a variety of things, some of them being pies.
I mean, surely a large institution, such, dare I say, the clerics of Camulus would have a functioning kitchen that is perhaps able to produce a pie or 500.
Well, I
That's a
mean,
valid point.
they didn't seem to know who Donnaroo was. Well, I guess maybe they did, but they weren't very nice to her. So it could be them. You didn't see any clerics about the camp when you were walking around, did you, Jace?
Do I?
You did not know.
Or maybe not clerics, but people wearing the livery of Camels Are Us.
You've only been here today, Jace, and you didn't see anyone dressed as they are.
No. I try to avoid those sorts of entanglements as much as I can. They have all these rules you're supposed to live by. Most of the things that are fun, they're not really fans of.
I could understand that. Not
So
a
do
big
we
fan
have...
of- Well, didn't they say... don't we go back and talk to Weld the Line? Because, I mean, she was full of contradictions.
Yes, I think we definitely need to go speak to Wedeline before we leave the camp.
Didn't we leave her a pie?
We left
did.
her a cake.
Bought from Dwayne?
A cream pie. It was a dessert item, not a savoury pie. What would the connection be? I mean,
Well, if she were acting out of sorts, like the bear, that would be proof.
Because she ate the pie too? What do you
See,
mean if she...
we could have a case of a random pie poisoner, as opposed to a targeted abduction operation, is what you're saying.
Maybe. Maybe something's fishy at Dwayne's pies.
Let's go find out. Let's go see Wedeline.
So you're heading back to see Wedeline?
Yep.
Alright. So it doesn't take you too long. It's getting closer to the afternoon now. The sun is close to setting. And you make your way through the tents and caravans back to Wedeline's main caravan. And you knock brusquely on the door and let yourselves in. She looks on and goes, "Oh, yes. Have you finished interviewing everyone here?"
Yes, we have. And Riki here, she's got some questions for you. And then when I point to Riki and step back, I'm looking around to see if I can see the slab
It's still there.
I'm
It
looking
looks-
around to
it
see the
looks-
pie.
Both those items that you provided her seem untouched.
Ooh. Never trust somebody who can not touch pie.
They're definitely on the down low.
She looks to Riki eye to eye, considering they're both about the same height. Yes, Riki, you said you had something?
Yes, Wedeline, we've been hard at work all day. You know, asking questions, trying to solve problems. We've come up with so many answers, but none of them make sense. We thought you might be able to fill us in on some more details. We think you might know some things that you don't know that you know.
Hi. That seems intriguing. Do go on.
We want to know more about this mysterious pie.
Excuse me, Wabadi, what are you trying to do there?
Nothing. I just thought I would check to make sure that the table was well put together, and and you can never be too sure.
And that beer in your hand?
I thought perhaps I better make sure that there's no poison in it.
Right. Well, I mean, if you want a drink, I'm sure you can have it. I thought this was a gift to me, though.
Yes. I was bringing this over to you. In fact, here you go. Enjoy.
Right. Well, I don't usually drink until a little bit later, but I'll just put it to the side here. Thank you.
Wedeline, we've uncovered some histories and some truths that we will try not to spread further than this, but we do need to talk to you about.
Do go on.
Well, as all traveling bands of people, quite naturally, you and your friends have all had your difficulties from time to time, but we've uncovered that you seem to be traveling with a fairly caring bunch, which makes me wonder who would dislike Feldisha enough to move her on.
That is an interesting point. Who indeed?
And it really comes down to motive. I mean, none of the others seem to have motive enough to harm her. They all seem fairly attached, and quite frankly a little too disorganized. And there's the matter of the mysterious pie that's been eaten by the animals who've fallen asleep.
What's this about an animal falling asleep? I noted the pie was there before the show, but I don't know anything about an animal falling asleep.
And then there's the mysterious robed people wandering around afterwards, whom no one in your camp seems to have intercepted or spoken to or know what they're all up to.
Really, this is getting intriguing. How were they dressed?
In robes.
Like clerical robes? Was it that annoying Horton person's dealing?
Well, Camulus people by the look of it.
Well, I mean, I can't say anything with regards to the location of priests in my bazaar, apart from what other people tell me. But I mean, I would have thought Horton would be better placed to discuss that.
And then there's the fact that you seem to have had money issues. It's awfully gauche of me to have to bring up, but you seem to have had money issues with Feldisha.
Well, why do you say that?
Well, because there's always money issues. I mean, really, you clearly didn't act like there weren't money issues.
Look, Weldeline.
Yes?
You think we just made this up? We learned this. We learned this in your bazaar. So, it's not that we come out of these thoughts magically. This is a world of pure, hard logic.
To be fair, we did actually use magic to talk to the owl. That did happen.
Shh,
Hey,
Alarak.
I usually try to hide things that I don't see as important, but I mean, I will mention that Feldisha certainly was asking for more of a take for her show, and I had to cut that at the pass, as it were. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to pay the other entertainers anywhere near as much. She certainly got the lion's share, but she kept on asking for more, and I was trying to keep an eye out for the rest of the people.
So wouldn't it not be easier for her to vanish? Then you could all get more of the cut?
I mean, sure, if you're that way inclined, but I am not.
Edna
And,
used
I mean,
to
if
be
we
the star
lose
of
her-
the show.
And if we lose her, it's the star of the show, and we're going to get less takings.
You have
And-
Edna.
And we have brought you food and drink that you have not partaken of any.
I don't see how that's relevant.
That seems mistrusting.
Especially not eating pie.
Yes, pie is life.
Do you want me to eat some of the pie now?
Yes.
We all start chanting, pie, 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 pie.
Make a persuasion check.
All of us, or just Ricky?
Just Riki. It's a roll of 9 minus 1, 8.
38.
I'm not very intimidating. But can I roll an
She-
intimidation check instead?
She sort
Eat
of
the
rolls her
pie.
eyes. She rolls her eyes at you all and says, "Fair enough. I will have some of the pie if it will stop you chanting that silly tune." She turns around and sources a plate from one of her drawers and a small fork, and very unprofessionally cuts away at some of the pie there, and looks to you, the rest of you, says, "Would you like some as well?"
Unprofessionally, as in somebody who's not very used to handling pie.
As in, she's trying to cut away a pie with a fork. Normally, you would use a knife for that.
Well, maybe well-educated people would use a knife. Well, Bonnie would use his fingers.
Are you saying that out loud?
I should have said that. I should have said I to make it clear that it was Obani who says that.
Well, I can source a fork for you. I mean, and she takes a bite out of the pie. It's actually quite nice. Where did you get this?
Excellent
Dwayne's.
person called Dwayne in town.
Oh yes, Dwayne. Yes, he's a fabulous chef.
Jace
Oh,
reaches over and grabs a bit.
You've got a relationship, business partnership with him already. You already purchased his pies.
Yes. The last time I was here, I sourced some pies with him. Yes.
So he'd be the supplier to this this caravan, this bazaar.
He has been on occasion. Yes.
Anyone else?
This is really good, I must say.
Answer the question.
Sorry, what was that again?
And
I mean-
is there anyone else in this town where you source your food?
No. It's pretty much Dwayne.
Alright, guys,
might-
I suspect Shady Pete.
We might source some feed from somewhere else for the animals, but as to the food that we eat, that is from Dwayne.
Okay, well, looks like we're going to have to make a visit to Dwayne.
I'll take
And-
us. If you don't mind, I'll take just a slice of that pie as well. I'll try some.
Sure. For you both, Jace and Alarak, you find that it is quite a nice pie. The cream just melts in your mouth, and it's got a little bit of sweetness to it. It's not overly sweet though. There's a hint of lemon in there too.
Oh, this is a very good pie. I think
I
we
want to
definitely
really
need
give it
to
give it a
question
sniff
this
before
Dwayne
eating.
fellow.
Riki doesn't quite feel ready to get over her fear of carbs since being attacked by flying potatoes. So she gives it a miss and lies and says she's lactose intolerant.
And I refuse to eat Dwayne's pies.
Excellent.
I mean-
Would you like some of the beer, Wabani? You seem to be after it before.
Well, Okay.
Riki will also share in the beer if it's still on offer.
She passes out one to each of you.
I down it in a gulp.
Roll a constitution check.
I'd like to try to get it down in a gulp.
Can I get you to roll a constitution check, please?
Here we go.
Saving throw.
Saving throw?
Saving throw, yeah.
That would be a dirty 10. 8 plus 2. Okay,
so you down most of it, probably about 3/4 of the container, but it is not too bad. It's the beer you expect from someone like Shifty Eyed Pete, and you feel that great buzz that comes afterwards, but it doesn't overwhelm you. So you're not particularly you're not intoxicated at the moment, but you feel that if you keep drinking it fairly quickly, you certainly will be soon.
I will continue to drink it fairly quickly then.
Okay. If you
Jace.
finish it off quickly enough, you are now intoxicated.
Excellent.
That may actually help this quest.
Jason's just lifting his beer to his lips, and when he sees the enthusiasm with which Wabani is attacking him and his beer, and he just lowers it again and then passes it sideways to Wabani. And he turns to Alaric and says, "Has he had to kill someone again?"
No, maybe he's building up for it. Maybe he's like trying to get prepared.
There was a drunken and drugged bear. It was quite traumatic. And an owl with an alcohol problem. This has just been heinous. It's been heinous.
Yes.
Oh.
Exactly. I'm getting prepared. I'm ready.
Now we're going to have to go talk to a food shop owner.
We're going to talk to him? I thought we were going to do some
We'll
D&D.
kill him.
Harrowing,
Let's do it.
Harrowing quests.
That was my question. Do we want to talk to this chap, or do we want to break into the pie shop
I'll
see
punch
the
him in the
ingredients?
nose this time. You did it with Lewis. I'll do it this time.
No. We go in, we try and order a pie with blackbirds and drugs in it.
Okay.
Right. Mhm.
And if he goes, okay, I'm good at those, we know it's him.
We say we want the super duper special pie
Yes, that's what we do.
without the feathers.
This is like the blind leading the blind.
So
And
we're
while-
agreed we're going up to Dwayne's?
Do we? And we have no idea what kind of poison or drug was used for the bear, so sending
Ooh.
somebody in to search the back of his shop while we bumble around like a couple of socially inept individuals at the front of his shop wouldn't be particularly helpful, would it?
We might be able to. I don't know. Look, see, I think clearly now. The bear had the crumbs about his mouth. I think I seen some crumbs at the edge of his cage. Maybe one of us is good and might recognize a strange smell.
Why don't I ask the bear where he got the pie from?
I could send in Bindi. Bindi might help.
I mean, we talked to the owl, yeah. Why don't we just talk to the bear? Hey, bear, where'd you get the pie?
I mean, I
Yes.
can talk to small animals. I don't know if I can talk to bears.
Ah, right.
We
I
should
can talk to
we should
bears. Just
try.
give me 10 minutes. I'll cast a ritual and I'll have a chat to the bear.
That seems
And I
easier
will-
than breaking and entering.
And I will sip at your beer here. And I down it.
Let's
Okay.
off. Let's went.
Okay.
Also,
Whoa.
I've added the words buttling halfler to my book of amusing swears.
Okay, so as a group, you're heading towards the where Merrick
Bear.
is dealing with the animals.
Yep, to the bear.
To the bear. So as you arrive, Merrick looks up and goes, "Oh, what you want?"
Do you want me to punch him?
It's the butler.
It's all right, Merrick. Back off now. They've been drinking and they're bored. We
Well,
just want to spend some time talking with the bear. We're not going to hurt it. We're just going to have a chat.
Talking with the...
It's not a euphemism. Just let them go.
You people are weird. Right, well, I'll just be over there. And he points to his tent. It seems a little bit dirtier than the rest. And then he wanders off.
Hold on. I've got a question. Where would that bear get its food?
I'm normally the one that feeds it. Why?
Did you give it a pie?
Did I give it? I found some unused food lying around the major tent, if that's what you're asking. But it looked pie-shaped.
You, and for a carer of animals, and you gave animals humanoid food? Let me at him, Alarak. I'm going to punch him right now.
No, you need to sit him down and gently talk with him on Donnaru's ways of the bear gut microbiome.
She would smash him like a wave.
Of knowledge about the gut microbiome of bears.
Oh,
so how much
you
of this
guys are still weird.
Merrick. How much pie was left? How much pie did you give to the bear?
There's probably about half left, give or take.
We are going to need that pie.
Well, there's none left now. The bear ate it.
Right, okay, so there was half left. You fed that half to the bear. Okay.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's how food is consumed.
Can I send teeny little fragile Bindi the squirrel in to have a sniff around the bear cage, presuming the bear's still asleep?
What could go wrong?
Nothing. Go up to the bear's mouth. Fragile little non-summoned Bindi the squirrel.
So the bear is sort of sitting up and is woozy. It's not actually asleep at this point in time. It's sort of swaying.
Okay, that's a no. Can we get some of the crumbs off its mouth and have everybody have a sniff and see what we all notice?
Sure, if you're able to converse with the bear or somehow take some of the items off its face.
Jace, work your charms.
Okay, all right. Jace takes 10 minutes, casts Speak with Animals, and then he says, greetings, friend bear.
Hello. Oh, yes.
We were wondering about that pie that you had for dinner last night.
You're funny looking. I'm tired. Can I sleep now?
Sure. I don't suppose we could have those crumbs that are on your whiskers. We could, you just dust some off over here?
Make a persuasion check.
That's 27.
Nice. Crumbs? Oh, okay. Can I sleep after that?
You sure can. You sure can, my friend.
He leans his head towards you, which to everyone else there looks a little bit threatening. And he just rests his jaw on your hand.
Okay, Jace very carefully takes the crumbs off the bear's whiskers and thanks him politely.
All you hear in return is snoring. He seems to have fallen asleep on your hand.
Jace very carefully extracts his hand.
Do you want me to punch it, Jace?
Sure, just let me get out of here first, and then you can go your hardest.
Yeah, let me back up as well.
Who are you punching?
I think they want me to punch the bear.
No. I don't think that's what they want, Bunny.
Right. Of course. It's Merrick who we're upset with.
Look at your little. Don't you have a little bracelet somewhere that says "What would Donnaru do"?
Oh, I'm the boar keeper. I could summon Masquin, and he would take care of this. I could tell Masquin that Oh, what did he do? That bloody imp. He kept electrocuting us. How did that happen again?
Let's
got
go
close.
see Dwayne.
The imp
Yeah,
wasn't
let's-
electrocuting you. The actual wooden ball.
Well,
was.
I remember very clearly what it was. Well, Bonnie's just a little bit too drunk to remember.
Okay.
So
I
what
think
time
we
is it?
should just let sleeping bears lie, have a look at these crumbs, and then go hammer down the door of our friend Dwayne.
It's about dusk at the moment, Alarak.
And is what's his name still with us?
Who? Merrick?
Merrick, yes.
He's retired to his tent.
You know what? Merrick saw the pie. I reckon he might be useful to have with us because he could
That's a
say, "Yeah,
good
that
idea.
looks the same." See what I'm saying? Because we haven't seen this pie. Only
Yeah.
Merrick has.
Actually, Merrick's seen the previous pies as well, so Merrick could tell us if it looked the same as the ones that they'd had on other nights.
Mm.
Merrick, come on out. We need to talk to you again.
What? Oh, you got me in the middle of dinner.
I hope you're not eating pie.
No, I was having having bangers and mash actually. What is it this time?
Merrick, those pies, that pie you saw last night, did it look the same as the pie that that they usually have?
One pie looks like another to me. It looked pie-ish.
Oh, but they're not all the same. They're different crusts, different sizes,
Well,
different
Different
smells.
thing inside.
You know what Feldisha was like. She wanted a specific pie, and it looked like a specific pie to me.
So there was no insignia, no special marks on the top that changed?
Let me think.
Decoration.
Yeah.
No. I think there was some images of birds on it, maybe.
And that was exactly the same as last night's pie.
Well, the one I found, yeah. And what are you talking about?
If you were to see that topping again, would you recognise it?
I suppose.
Fantastic. You are now joining us on this mission to save Feldisha.
Wait, what? No. I don't have to
Oh,
go
so
anywhere with you.
Oh, so you don't want to save Feldisha? I understand. Okay, I'll be sure to tell her that you had the opportunity but turned it down.
Listen, I've got other things to do. I'm having a quick dinner, and then I have to go and pull down some tents and move some stalls in the main tent. I really don't have the time to go wandering with you guys.
That is
I suggest you
possibly
make time. I start cracking my knuckles.
that is quite possibly the most boring excuse for not adventuring I have ever heard. I have to pack tents. No. Now is your chance to shift things up a little bit, so maybe Feldisha might start paying attention. But first, I would get that bear some coffee.
So you're cracking your knuckles. Did you want to make an intimidation check, Alarak?
Sure. 15 plus 1, 16.
Okay. He looks to you and goes, What do you want me to do?
It's quite
Exactly.
simple. We're going to put pie. All you have to do is tell us if you recognise this pie.
Why
If
can't
it's
you
the
bring the
same.
pie to me?
Because you're not the kind of person we bring pies to.
I'm gonna punch Merrick.
Okay, make an attack roll.
And I'm not even gonna. It's gonna be. I'm trying not to. What do you call that when you're
Are you holding the
indicating?
pie?
Well, when you're punching and it's just so visible that they can see that you're about to punch them. I'm trying not to do that.
Okay, so roll with advantage because he's not expecting it.
I'm drunk though, so it'll just be copacetic. Ooh, Ooh, look at that. 3 plus 5, 8.
So you attempt to swing at his face and miss out on the fact that there's a rock right underneath you that trips you up, and instead of hitting him, you go lurching off towards his tent instead and get tangled in the canvas. It goes, what the hell? Look, I don't know what you guys are on, but I want you to leave. I'll go see Wedeline if you don't stop bugging me.
And we'll tell her we suspect you. Because it's awfully suspicious that you wouldn't spend this 2 minutes trip to the pie shop just to see if this is the clue that saves Feldisha.
Right, that's it. I'm going to go see Wedeline. Just leave me alone. And he storms off.
I slowly pick myself up from the floor and I go, little rat tattletale.
Are you following him?
No, I'm not. Whoa, I totally misread that. That man. I wanted to smoke him in the nose.
We all did.
That's okay. It could have gone worse.
Sigh. Shall we just go to Dwayne now and blame him?
Yes, that's been working very well for us so far.
I won't say a thing. I promise, Riki. I'll be quiet.
No, that's okay. We will talk to him. I would like to be a little careful. I don't want to lose my supply of fancy liqueurs and cream pies. But
So-
we do need to go and talk to him. I mean, he has been very fair with the Tinkers in the past, but he could be the kind of person who takes opportunities wherever they present themselves. So,
Oh,
who
you know what?
knows?
There's the missing piece. The who was the fella that Edna was entertaining? The big secret person. That's it.
That's
Who
right.
indeed?
No one will tell us who they are.
That's a problem. Well, I wasn't very successful, but Alarak, I mean, you smoked Lewis something fierce.
Yeah, the trick it's you gotta just not telegraph your punches.
Telegraph, that's the word.
I'll teach you. But first, are we going to talk to Dwayne? Because he might not actually be the one involved. He might have just sold it to, say, the preachers.
But if we could find out who he sold it to, that would be useful information because, that way we'll know who had the pie, and then we can trace the chain of pie custody.
But if he is the
Custard
poison,
pie.
he's not going to tell us. He's not going to be telling us. I reckon someone should talk to him. Meanwhile, people go in the back and search for poison.
Out of character, did we meet Dwayne's wife?
I don't think he has a wife, as far as you're aware.
Okay, I thought. Okay, never mind.
So
So-
certainly not.
Yeah, certainly not.
Well, then, we definitely, considering we've all carefully examined the crumbs, and Bindi has carefully examined the crumbs, it would clearly recognize the same poison should we come across it again. This has happened, right? Wasn't just in my head.
Well, you've got some crumbs now from the bear, so you can examine those if you want.
Okay.
Let's examine them.
I'm not bad with medicine. I could give it a try. I'm not exactly. I can't quite focus right now very well. Shoot that beer.
Okay, so I can have a look and do a medicine check on the pie crumbs.
Sure. Make a
And
medicine check.
can my little squirrel friend Bindi help me out?
No.
No?
You're gonna get...
I would love to see how
what
that
is
worked.
Bindi doing? Is Bindi eating the pie?
No, she's just smelling it to see if it smells of any particular. Certain poisons have certain smells.
Okay.
Bindi
Sure.
has
You can roll with advantage.
Thank you. Bindi has a particularly sharp little nose, so we are actually putting our little noses and fingers up to the pie crumbs and smushing them together and having sniffs and little, when people carefully taste things on the tips of their tongues. That's what Bindi and I are doing together.
Okay, go for it. Roll that medicine check. Right. So you and Bindi have a good investigation of these crumbs, and they smell of butter pastry, of the more savoury variety, but you don't sense anything that would be some sort of drug on them at this stage. Although what you probably guess is you don't have enough to work that out. This is only on the outer edge of the pie. If it were to be poisoned, it would probably be in the central portion of it.
Ooh, and if it's in the central portion, that would imply it's the person who baked the pie rather than somebody who may have poisoned it on the way in.
Oh, not necessarily. I mean,
you can guess that if you want.
So you could potentially lift the pie lid, place the poison in the... Oh, God, let's go talk to the other guy and punch him and find out. Dwayne, you've got it coming.
I can punch someone. I think I telegraphed that last one way too much.
I think you might have, but you could be very efficient, and if we line up Horton Fenwick and Dwayne in a room together...
I might hit one of them. Yes.
You might hit one of them, and we'll find out some answers one way or the other.
Let's do it.
So on the way, I'd like to begin the process of taking off my loincloth and putting on my traveler's clothes.
Oh, dear.
You're stripping down and getting naked?
There's not much else apart from the loincloth, but there's a few rags.
Sorry, what?
Okay.
There's not much else past the loincloth? Shame on Alarak.
Shame for Alarak.
I don't have any shame. Nothing to be ashamed of. So, as I get into these traveler's clothes, I won't be making as much noise. Who's coming in the back with me?
Oh, yes, the chain loincloth, right. The half-plate loincloth.
Oh, so you'll be moving your way into the back of the shop while we're in the front. Okay, so I have spoken with Dwayne previously, so it would look less strange if I went to talk with him.
And Jace is quite charming. He can engage him in conversation.
Oh.
And a particularly loud song, should you want to make some noise exploring the back of the shop.
I'm with you, Alarak. Don't you worry. I've got you covered.
Okay. Jace isn't sure just how this is going to go down, and he doesn't want to lose access to what's possibly the best pies in Medanio. So he's going to cast Disguise Elf before he goes in there to appear as a nondescript human.
Okay. Because, having Riki next to you is not going to be a giveaway in itself.
Yeah, Riki travels with many people.
But then when Jace gets banned, it won't be banned as Jace. He can come back.
That's it.
Sure. Okay. That's fine. I'm happy for you to do that.
Is there like a... Go on.
I like that he's so even egalitarian, I guess, that even if this man does tend to be the pie poisoner, he would still buy pie from him because it's delicious.
Well, the odds of getting a poisoned pie are pretty poor. Sorry, pretty good, really.
You're not willing to pay extra, so no, you wouldn't get a poisoned pie.
And that's the thing. Maybe you should try and purchase one. See if you can include some extra. So
I think that Jace should take the lead on that.
Okay, is it a back alleyway?
So the actual store is on Hawker's Circle, but there is a small alleyway leading into the back of the premises. But you'll have to make a stealth check to get in there, and then obviously other checks probably to actually get into the building itself.
Sounds like a plan. We'll begin that in a minute. You guys head on in.
So Jace, as a nondescript human, and Riki enter the establishment, and Dwayne looks like he's in the process of closing down and finishing for the day, and he turns around and goes, "Oh, yes, Riki, how are you doing? And I see you have a friend with you. Greetings. How can I help?"
Yes, Dwayne. I showed your pie to a friend, and he had some very, very interesting ideas and business opportunities that we thought you might potentially be interested in.
Is that so? Well, I'm always interested in business opportunities. Please, tell me more.
Firstly, could we just ask a couple of quick questions about the halflings with the bazaar that's just come to Cat Town?
Yes. I think that's Wedeline, right?
Yes, her and her crew. You've sold them blackbird pies in the past, haven't you?
Yes, in general. I ran out of a blackbird pie when Wedeline had asked for it, but that's because I ran out of the materials due to the fact that I sold it the day before. Why is that?
Do you recall who you sold that pie to?
Hard to say. It was a let me think. A halfling, and it was a man. Outside of that, he was a little bit scruffy, I think, but outside of that, it was a bit hard to tell. They all look alike to me.
Smelly?
Old or young?
It was hard to say. I usually pretty good with faces, but this one was a little bit hard to look at.
Did he have a bird with him?
No, it's just the gentleman.
Did he smell of alcohol?
No, I can't. It's certainly not alcohol. It's probably more of an earthy smell, I think.
Was his name Merrick?
I didn't ask for his name. Okay, so while you guys are discussing this, can you roll a stealth check to get into the alley unnoticed, please?
Oh, hold on, I need to take off the armor disadvantage.
Woohoo! I got disadvantage, but I still rolled a dirty 19.
Dropped
Okay, there we go.
Too. Okay.
An 11.
Alarak is still trying to get used to the fact that he's not wearing his chain loincloth. But Wabani helps him out, and they get in easy enough. Okay, so you work your way down the alley. It's like most alleys here, dirty enough. There's old boxes and containers, and there seems to be a side entrance here into Dwayne's delicacies. When you check it, it looks like the door is locked.
In we go.
Like
we're going to have to try and pick that. Fortunately, over the last 10 weeks, I have purchased tools.
Okay, make a thievery check, please.
I don't actually have proficiency, so would that be sleight of hand, or...?
No. So it'll just be your dex. Just do a dexterity check then.
Straight dex. Dirty 20.
Wow, 19 plus 1 for a 20. Okay, so you're still relatively unfamiliar with these tools. You have played around with a little bit, but you've been working on at your home location with some of the internal doors there, and have started to get a bit of hang of it. And you recognise that the lock here is very similar to your house, and managed to pop the lock in about 3 minutes, and you find the door ajar.
Okay, so remember, Wabani, we're trying to be quiet, and we're trying to find poison, or I guess tools to imprint pictures of birds on the pastry.
Okay, do I need to punch somebody?
That's the opposite of what you need to do.
Right, I understand.
Okay, so you guys sneak in. Can I get you to make another stealth check, please?
Oh, shit. Oh, that not so good. 37.
22.
All right. Wabani wanders in, and he's walking toward. It's a bit dark in here. There's not much natural light, and he's about to stumble into what looks to be some crates and such. But Alarak manages to catch his shoulder just in time.
What?
You find
Humans.
yourself in a storage room. Okay, we'll switch back to Jace and Riki. So, are you buying some ingredients or another one of my pies? I'd like to shut up shop soon, if you don't mind.
Well, it's vitally important that we find the halfling that you sold that pie to. One of the performers from the bazaar has gone missing, and that person is the best lead we have to the missing performer's whereabouts. Very concerned about the poor woman.
Dwayne, is there any chance that you would consent to come with us and identify the halfling pie perpetrator?
I guess I could.
I would reward you for it.
Let me shut up shop first. I won't be a moment. I'll meet you outside. Is that okay?
Perhaps if you just give us a moment. I would like to, and I start to talk a little bit louder, and I say, well, I'm very happy that you're coming with us. Thank you so much for all of your help. You're about to go out the back and shut up your shop, which is very helpful, and we'll meet you out the front.
I don't understand why you're speaking so loudly. Can I get a perception check from both Wabani and Alarak, please?
It hovered on 16, then it rolled over to a 3 for a 7.
And Wabani got a 12.
You do catch not the whole conversation that Riki is saying, but you do catch snippets of it, of shut up shop and traveling with us.
What was that, Alec? Did you hear that? I think I heard Riki. Something shop shut.
Dwayne, but sorry, you finish this.
I don't know. I mean, we're shutting up shop. I just want to find any possible poison. And this
perfect. If he's shutting up the shop, then we've got free reign. Excellent.
Exactly.
Maybe there's some extra goodies back here, like some beer too.
I think you've had enough. Let's just try and find the poison and the
right, the poison. Gotcha.
The stencil or whatever you'd call it to do the cooking. Put those shapes in the pie.
I'll stand in the center. I'm going to stand in the center of the room and just be, my nose up in the air trying to smell poison.
Okay, so you guys start investigating for any incriminating evidence. Meanwhile, back with Jace and Riki. What were you going to say, Jace?
Jace wanted to stall for a little bit of extra time so that the two at the back could get clear, hopefully. And he says, "Oh, Dwayne, just one more thing before we go. Would be a crime to come here to your shop and not take advantage of all you have to offer. I've heard so much about your cream pies. Do you have any?"
I did sell one earlier, I think, to this lovely lady here. Not anything in here in the front of the store. I can go check out back. Just wait a minute. I'll go check.
No, don't trouble yourself. Well, tell me about what you have out front here. What have you got?
I grab a can off the shelf. What is this delightful thing?
Oh, that's just canned peas, really. I have that there because some people need it. But most of the stuff I have, if you have a look over here, and he points to a glass showcase sort of container area, and goes, it's mostly been sold out, but we do have, I think, there's some cherry muffins, and he starts talking away for the next 3 or 4 minutes with what he's got left there. Yes, and I think the last thing, the very interesting octopus soup. It's not for everyone, but I have had positive reviews on it.
Well, I will take everything except for the octopus soup. Just please pack it carefully and very slowly.
Oh, well, that's most unusual. I thought you wanted me to head to the bazaar, but I mean, I can do
Okay,
this.
well, I will just take a dozen cherry muffins then.
All right. Well, that will be a dozen cherry muffins. That'll be 5 silver. Thank you.
I give him 6.
Did you want the lovely gift box wrapping and?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay, that'll be another silver.
Yes.
So, all right, 6 silver. Excellent. I will just do that in a second. All right. And he starts getting a box out and putting some the remainder of the cherry muffins into the box. Where did I put that ribbon? Oh, yes, that's right. I'll be back in a second. And he turns around and heads out towards the back to retrieve the ribbon.
Oh, that's all right. We don't need ribbon. They'll be eaten straight away by the Tinkers and us.
Jace casts suggestion.
Okay.
Jace just says, look, how about you come with us straight away to the halflings and we'll worry about the shop later.
Okay, so what's the DC on that?
It's DC 14.
Wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, so he is walking towards the door to lead out to the back and goes, lead you to... Oh, yes, I can come to the bazaar. Yes, that seems like a good thing to do. I'll lock up later. Yes, okay. If you'd like to lead the way, please. And he sort of walks up to you and is in a bit of a daze.
So let's just lock the front door so we don't have to worry about you losing everything, and then we will go.
Okay. So he goes along and does it all ever so slowly. He does collect. He has enough wherewithal to collect the cherry muffins and provide them to Eureki before starting to close up the front of the store. Meanwhile, Alarak and Wabani, can I get you guys to make investigation checks, please?
I exceed at investigation checks, I say with a lot of derision.
Apparently
Okay.
not.
So Wabani continues to just stand there and smell. He doesn't smell anything out of the ordinary, what you would find in a fine food place. However, Alarak spends
With a
the
17.
time with a 17 spends the time a lot more productively. He finds several containers, vials and such, but on smelling them, he finds that they're flavor enhancers or such. And he does find a tool that looks like it would make nice imprints of birds onto pastries and such.
I'll take that.
Okay. Are you doing anything else?
I'll grab a muffin or something for myself. And then
I
we'll head out.
smell nothing, Alarak.
Try using your eyes. Oh, wait, you're human. Useless. Sorry. I always forget. You can't say.
If you didn't have those horns, I swear, and you didn't have that missing wife, sometimes
Fiance.
you hurt my feelings, Alarak.
It's to toughen you up. It's to toughen you up. I do it out of love.
You can punch me to toughen me up. Don't say
I can't?
harsh things. Well, no, but
But you just said I
metaphorically.
could. I think you need to make up your mind. Anyway, found this thing. Let's go back, head outside the front, and meet up back with them. We probably don't want to spend all day robbing this place. Probably doesn't have too much.
Sure thing, let's go.
I don't see a safe on the way out, do I?
You do see. You did find a container that was locked at the time.
How big?
Probably about. It was fitted underneath one of the rows, bench row that was affixed to the wall. So you got your areas where you can work on food and stuff, and then underneath that bench was a small cupboard that was locked.
What are you doing, Alarak? I thought you said we're going.
1 second. So this is locked. So it's affixed to the drawer, or is it free?
So
to just take?
it's affixed to the bench, and you suspect the wall. There is a door on it that is locked.
Might just spend a minute trying to unlock that.
Okay, make a thieves check. Okay,
I'm here anyway. 14.
You work your attempt. Well, you attempt to unlock this one, but it's certainly got a better lock than the back door, and your time is in vain. It doesn't unlock. You don't break anything though, thankfully.
Good.
I'm
I
looking
don't
over his
think there's
shoulder.
poison in here.
I want to be looking over his shoulder and seeing that. Now, you remember that safe we had that Dimble opened for us? Well, before Dimble came along with his stealthy fingers, I mean, we hucked that safe everywhere. Maybe we can just huck that box and it'll break open.
That's a good point.
This
but
box you're
it's affixed to the
talking
wall.
about,
It's affixed to the drawers, isn't it?
and it's probably about a meter by a meter.
Oh,
By a
right.
meter.
I was picturing a drawer. Okay, no. We'll have to leave it then.
What about you smack it with your... Where's your glaive? You got your glaive there?
Yeah, that makes noise.
Oh, yes, that's not smart. We are trying to rob.
Mm-hmm.
I guess,
We know it's here.
Thunderwave... do you think
Nope.
Masquin can open it?
Maybe. We know it's here. We can come back once they've closed up.
Right. Let's go.
Okay, so you're leaving the establishment?
Yeah, and lock the door behind us if we can, just to leave no trace.
Oh, that's easy enough to do. There's a lock that you can set on the inside, and when you close it, it's locked from the outside.
While he's doing that, I'm on the other side of the alley taking a leak against the wall.
Fantastic.
Does he have to? Is there a roll for that?
A saving throw.
The saving throw to see if you get any on your pants.
For sure.
Sure,
All right.
why not?
Dexterity?
Yeah, make it a
There we go.
disadvantage.
Well.
Oh, you rolled a
there
one.
we-
You're looking any which way, but at what you should be doing, and by the time you finish, you look down, and the whole left leg is soaked.
Oh, God. This was... Why did I drink those beers? I'm embarrassed.
You know the saying.
It's okay. I have got these clothes. I'm about to put on my loincloth anyway. We'll get you sorted out.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's go.
Meanwhile, with Jace and Riki, Dwayne is following you, a bit slower than what you'd expect, but he's continuing on. He goes, yes, we're still going this way. Please lead the way. And before long, you get back to the bazaar. So what do you want to do? What are you telling him to do?
So we're going to take him around to all our suspects and ask him if he recognises anyone. Maybe start with Merrick. What do you think, Ricky?
I think we should start with Merrick, and I think we should also consider the places where he might have hidden Feldisha.
Okay. So you head towards Merrick's tent. Meanwhile, what are you, Alarak and Wabani doing?
Well, we were trying to meet back up with them once we got from behind the thing.
Hot foot.
Okay. Okay, so you're heading back to the bazaar?
If they're not in the front,
Yep.
Yeah, they would have left by then, but they're moving slow enough that you should be able to catch up to them, and pretty much catch up to them just as they reach the bazaar.
and have I changed my pants?
No, that would probably take too long to do.
Jace
Okay.
gives us a sniff and says, "Ugh," and casts prestidigitation.
Oh, thank you. Jace. That is very much appreciated. I had an accident.
I can see that.
Well, you know what they say, you don't buy beer, you only rent it. Best keep that in mind.
That is wise words, Riki. Is that in your book?
It could be.
So, Alarak and Wabani, you notice Dwayne is with them, and he seems a little dazed and not his normal self.
what?
He's been sampling the pie.
Or he realizes he doesn't hold water to Shifty-Eyed Pete.
Yes, you're right. This purveyor of gourmand items has just had an existential crisis caused by a man called Shifty Pete.
That's right. Now, we're going to the bazaar, right?
Yes, Dwayne's going to help us to identify the fellow that he sold that pie to.
Oh, that's excellent news.
It's a halfling chap. Scruffy, wasn't it, Dwayne?
Yes, he was a scruffy-looking person.
That sounds like Merrick.
Smelt earthy, not of alcohol.
Again, Merrick.
Oh, I can't see him here. No one. These people aren't Merrick, as you say.
Have we found Merrick?
Are you looking for him?
Yes.
For sure.
Okay. It doesn't take you long. You head back to his. Are you going to his tent? I mean, last time you saw him, he was heading to Wetterline.
We could split up.
Well, we need Dwayne, so we may as well stay together. We could take his tent first, maybe.
Yep.
And look for Feldisha.
If you're doing that, I'm going to spend the 10 minutes putting my loincloth back on. Just outside. Fairly casually.
So you're not with the group, or you're doing it while they walk inside?
Oh, I'll be right outside.
Okay. So you head towards the tent, and when you get there, Alarak just casually throws off his travelling robes and starts putting on his loincloth. Meanwhile, you look inside, and you see Merrick is not inside at this point in time.
Opportunity to search for clues.
Yes. I will look under his bed.
Now, is Dwayne with you inside the tent, or is he outside?
Probably bring him in to keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Sorry.
Can I get one of you guys to make an investigation check if you're going through his tent? Okay, so that's a roll of 14. Okay, so you start working your way through the tent, looking for anything that may be incriminating evidence. While that's happening, Alarak is changing his outfit, and you notice Merrick heading towards you. It looks like he's coming back from cleaning out some other stalls. And
I'm just going to start coughing really loudly up against the tent, making some noise.
Shall we roll a perception check?
As soon as I hear Alarak coughing, I come running out. Are you okay, Alarak?
And you also notice Merrick heading towards you, and at this point he sees what's happening. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing in my tent?"
We're looking for you. Dwayne, is this the chap you sold the pie to?
So when you head out and with Dwayne in tow, he looks over at Merrick and goes, "Yes, that was the chap who sold the pie," and then that dazed look on his face goes away, and then he looks around and goes, "Oh, where am I? How did I get here?" And at this point, you see Merrick looks a bit frightened. What do you guys want to do?
I think we need to try to. Jace is going to try and intimidate Merrick. Say, Merrick, stop right there, and you got some You got some questions to answer.
I'm going to toll the dead on him.
You're just going out and attacking him, are you?
Yep.
What if you kill him?
I'm not thinking straight.
Apparently not. Okay. So the intimidation check first. Give me a second. He stares you down, and your attempt at staying his hand seems to wash over him. Meanwhile, you want to make a. So is it a what kind of saving throw?
Wisdom on a DC 13.
DC 13. Okay. That hits. So do you want to roll your D8?
3 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. So a bell tolls nearby, and it hits him full force in the chest, and it goes, and he collapses to the ground for a second, and then
I got him.
just give me a second. You've got him, haven't you?
Barney, we need him alive. Merrick, I can't control this man. You've got to surrender yourself so I can help you.
So as this is happening, the air about you, even though it is around dusk, the air about you starts to get substantially colder, and the light dims as if a large cloud had just blocked what remains of the sunlight. Merrick looks around, a terrified look on his face, and some of the people that have been walking around and seeing this, they stop and look around in concern as an unearthly calm overtakes the bazaar. It is then that you pick up something on the edge of hearing, a high-pitched whine like a mosquito flying near your ear, but directionless. Merrick starts to wail and speak into the air. No, don't take me. I did all you asked for. I brought you that terrible excuse for a halfling, the caves you mentioned. I have given you everything to you. As this is going on, small pinpricks of light start to appear, rising out of the ground. Some are bigger, others smaller, and they come in a variety of colors. When Merrick sees this, he attempts to break free, to run away and shriek in fear, but that's when the balls of light begin to move. Some moving further into the bazaar, others moving towards yourselves here. One in particular moving towards Merrick. As it reaches him, there is a flash of light that leaves you blind for a second, with a silhouette of Merrick momentarily burnt into your retinas. This is followed almost instantly by a blast of thunder, and when your vision recovers where Merrick was, there is instead a pile of clothing, armor, and ash. Now, I will set up the map momentarily, but I think this might be a good point to have a 5-minute break. You are listening to ADlibnd. Now let's get back to the adventure. Welcome back, everybody. I have just set up the map for this encounter, so just quickly recapping. They found the culprit that dealt with Feldisha, but just at that moment, some balls of energy rose out of the ground and dispatched him and turned him into dust and ash. So just to describe the map for you, we have the tent that the group was looking through, the bottom right-hand corner there. That was Merrick's tent. The big tent off to the top right is the main tent, and there's a couple of other tents nearby and crates and such. And we've got some balls of energy all around the map. So if I can get everyone just to place themselves where they think they would be. And once you're happy where you are, I will lock the tokens.
Oh
Actually,
boy.
if there were crates over there, I would have been trying to hide behind them a bit, get some privacy.
So
reckon.
about there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can I get everyone to roll initiative, please?
Yeah, that's a 12.
12.
12.
Oh my god. Great.
Yeah.
And a 22 from Jace. Okay, we start with the large yellow energy ball. So they're all different colours here. But the large energy ball is the one that moved towards Merrick and pretty much disintegrated him. It seems to ignore you and drift off out to another portion of the camp. So basically it disappears off the map. Meanwhile, one of the red energy balls starts drifting towards you, Wabani, since you're the closest.
Oh, bugger.
And it gets to you, and it's as it gets close, you realise that this ball is some sort of ball of fire, and it attempts to lash out with this some sort of fire energy to try and scorch you. And manages to hit you and charge you.
Ouch. That hurt.
Jace.
Okay, so Jace assumes that these balls are some sort of magical effect and knows that usually these things need to be controlled by someone who's nearby. And so he'd like to hunt around to find the person who's controlling these balls.
Okay. Are you looking, or are you trying to investigate?
A perception check?
Okay. Yeah, you can make a perception check to see what's going on, but that'll probably take your action to do so.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a roll of 23. So you look around and you see the people that are here are halflings, not surprisingly, and all the people that you notice are looking horrified at what's happening here and seem to have turned around and starting to flee. So there's no one standing there off in the distance sort of cackling and controlling what's going on at the moment from what you can tell.
Okay. Alright. Jace is then going to use his movement to get on the other side of the tent.
Okay.
And he tells Alarak, trouble incoming, get your clothes on.
There's no time.
We get the feeling that that's something that Jace has told people many times before.
Oh, if I had a gold piece for every time I've had to say that.
Okay. The blue ball of energy moves towards Wabani, who's also nearby, and attempts to strike him. This time, this one feels cold to the touch. But you manage to dodge this one, and you feel a bit of frost on your arm, but it's only superficial. Now, just for people that are aware, I'm actually using a Fantasy Grounds extension that adds some interesting names to some of the NPCs. So this one seems to be a pleasant-looking small ball of energy, blue ball of energy. And it moves up to Dwayne.
Oh, not the pie maker!
Not the pie maker, and attempts to do the same thing.
Totally the pie maker.
But Dwayne ducks out of the way and is safe for now. Speaking of such, he looks on in horror and goes, what are these things? And he sort of steps away. He has enough wherewithal to step away and run into the tent and hide. So he's taking the disengage action and moving into the tent.
Run, Dwayne, run!
This one, seeing Wabani otherwise engaged, sort of floats up towards Alarak. And sits on top of the box, and you see the box starting to smoulder underneath the heat that is this fiery ball. Otherwise, Alarak is able to duck out of the way as the fiery ball attempts to strike at him. This one moves up to Riki, but it doesn't do anything. And the last one, which is a medium-sized ball, drifts out on the other direction to the camp. It starts to cause chaos nearby. A ball of acid sort of spits out of this ball and melts one of the halflings nearby. So that one disappears.
An onlooker?
One of the halfling tinkers that are trying to run away.
Aww.
They seem to move fairly fast.
They're hunting the halflings.
They are. One of the bigger ones was going off to do the same thing.
They're melting them.
I'm melting.
That's a hard stain to get out.
Riki, you're up.
Okay, Riki's perturbed. She's not happy. She decides that she's going to cast mage armor on herself. She's just a bit scared. And she just kind of stands where she is and just looks around and gets quite nervous, although she's a bit relieved that the good old pie maker's hiding in the tent.
Okay. As a bonus action, I will drop Shield of Faith on myself, which is a first level spell slot. And then as my action, the red ball, I am going to try to do a roundhouse kick to the red ball.
You can try.
And try I shall, as I roll an 11.
Try as you might, the ball is still quite small and moves around with a deftness of speed that you're not used to.
Oh,
You doing
terrible.
anything else?
No.
Alarak.
There's no time, Jace. This is too important. I'll put them on later. So I'm gonna, as my bonus action, put on Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
And take a swing at this one right next to me.
Go for it. And hit. And with impressive dexterity, you slice this energy ball and it dissipates.
Fantastic. I've got 60 movement. 1 second. I want to try and follow that one up the top. 60 gets me just there. Can I see where it was going? Was it going in the big tent where the leader of the caravan was?
It was moving past the big tent. It's a bit hard to see. Can I get you to make a perception check?
Sure. That's a 9.
You can't see it as such, but you do see a flash of electrical energy and a scream that is cut short. It seems it's found a victim.
Was it a voice we recognise?
No.
Damn it. Okay. And that's my turn.
Okay. The medium red energy ball attempts to hit Wabani again.
You shall miss.
Oh, it's a crit.
Fudge.
Oh no.
Obani falls to his knees.
So it starts to move, and it overwhelms you with the heat, and it's starting to torch the clothes you're wearing. You're a bit of a charred mess at the moment. Jace.
Okay, Jace is going to pop around the side of the tent and fire his crossbow at small blue energy ball number 2. Oh, you seem like you've unlocked things again.
Have I? Okay, sorry. They should be locked now.
Critical hit.
Nice. So what you've noticed, certainly from Alarak and now with this one as well, you're able to destroy these balls, but your attacks aren't doing as much damage as you thought they would. What are you doing now, Jace?
Jace is just going to try to maintain a bit of a low profile. I think he's happy where he is. He's got a little bit of cover, and he can keep an eye on things from where he is. So he'll use his action to give bardic inspiration to Wabani.
Okay. So how do you do that?
I say, Wabani, chin up, mate. You're going to get through this, and I'll buy you another. What do you call him? A flat at Shifty Pete's at the end of it all.
All
It
right.
works.
Meanwhile, the small blue energy ball, seeing that Dwayne has ducked away, moves towards you, Alarak. You feel the cold energy nearby as it attempts to freeze you and hits. And the cold, it catches you, and you get a bit of frostbite on the arm. It hurts.
I disagree with this description of this ball.
The fact
it's
that
not
it's pleasant. It's certainly not
It's
pleasant.
not.
Meanwhile, the yellow energy ball attempts to let off a shocking ball of energy towards you, Riki. But your magical armor absorbs the attack.
Pew pew.
The medium green energy ball heads off further to the south and west, and you hear another halfling scream in pain, and then it's cut off. Riki.
Okay, so I target. I can't quite target that with magic missile, can I? I would have to use something that. Could I use burning hands on it, or can I use magic missile without incurring some kind of penalty?
Well, magic missile instantly hits, so there's no issues with you targeting it.
Okay, so I'll target it with magic missile.
Nice.
Okay, so we've taken up the little one next to me, but unfortunately I've used up all of my magic missiles. But I do use my movement to take a stand next to Wabani, who I'm quite concerned about.
So you're getting into melee with this other one, eh?
Well, in retrospect, that seems silly, so I move slightly closer to Wabani and back him up.
Okay. That's fine.
That's good.
Sorry, this is the person out of game. I'm quite used to playing barbarians. This is a bit of a turn up.
Sure.
So,
All works.
Wabani, this slightly larger ball than the other ones that have perished is over you and is unleashed wave after wave of flame towards you, and it has almost cooked you. What are you doing?
Would you say it's burned away my intoxication? No. What I'm going to do is, and this depends if you're cool with this. So I've got the healer's feat. So healer's feat says that as an action, you can spend one use of the healer's kit to tend to a creature to restore 1d6 plus 4 hit points. Would you allow that to be myself?
Yeah, sure. You can
so
heal yourself.
My healer's kit to me is like my component pouch. It's a small thing on my belt, and I pull some bandages as I start moving and getting the momentum up to do a bonus action spinning kick to try to kick the medium red energy ball as my bonus action.
Well, you can't do that if you're using your action to heal yourself.
Bugger. Okay, I was hoping. Not even as a monk, huh?
No. But
Bugger.
for you to do that bonus action attack, you have to attack with your normal action.
Oh, that's right. So I am going to take a chance, and I will attack with flying fist. So I'm going to with my Hunga Munga, I'm going to try to smite this red ball in front of me.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So that's a natural one. What happens?
I'm trying to pull my Hunga Munga from my belt, and I get it caught in the belt loop. And so it's stuck there, and I get frustrated. And as I get frustrated, I kick with my foot in frustration, kicking outwards just in anger.
Oh, it's a hit. You drop a natural 20 then. Okay, you catch it.
Yeah, so didn't work at all the way I wanted.
So it tries to duck out of the way, but you do a grazing shot against it, and even your fists, which in retrospect may seem a little bit silly, trying to punch a ball of fire and it's floating nearby, you do tend to dissipate it somewhat.
Oh, that wasn't quite what I hoped for. And I'm going to move this way.
You're provoking?
Yes.
Okay. That misses. Okay, so you get to get away.
Yep, I put my head down and I just start trucking it.
Alright, Alarak, what are you doing?
I'm going to come down just to here. And try and strike this bigger one, the big threat.
Okay.
That's a miss.
This ball of fiery energy is very quick. And it just seems to duck away. It seems to understand where you're going to strike and is not there when your glaive slices past.
Rude. Okay, I'm going to continue my movement down to here.
Okay. Since you have Zephyr Strike, you do not provoke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright. It's going to keep going for the injured Wabani.
That provokes.
Okay, roll your attack.
Let's go, Alarak.
Oh, so close.
25. Nice.
And you cleave off a little bit of the fiery energy, but it's not doing as much damage as you'd hoped.
Damn it. Alright.
It fails, and so it as it moves towards Abani and is hit by Alarak. It wobbles in the air, and its attempt at roasting Wabani is foiled.
I drunkenly manage to dodge out of its way. By mistake or by intention, you'll never know.
Jace, you're up.
Okay, Jace is going to fire at medium energy ball. Looks like I think he's got a clear shot from where he is.
Yeah, that's fine. Those crates are only like half, about 800 millimeters or so.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
80 millimeters, so almost an inch.
80 centimeters.
80 centimeters.
80 centimeters, thank you.
Not 80 millimeters would be so cute and halfling-like.
I think I was right when I first said 800 millimeters. Anyway, the bolt flies too high. You're kind of distracted by Wabani's drunken dodge.
Okay, Jason's going to just remain where he is.
It's going to move up and try and help out.
Concerted effort to kill Wobani.
Oh, it misses. I think just.
Once again, drunkenly dodges.
Riki, so you can the medium green energy ball has sort of disappeared now. You can't see it. But you can hear the panic in the air to the south and west, but outside of that.
So I can see two. I can see a medium red energy ball and a small blue pleasing looking energy ball.
It's not pleasing.
No. It's pleasantly tall. I don't quite understand what pleasantly tall means. But that's alright. Alright, so she targets it. I target the medium red energy ball with magic missile.
It's probably pleasantly tall, so it's easier to hit, so you feel pleasant about that.
That would be pleasant. I mean, tallness is great, but I don't understand how an energy ball can be... Anyway, let's not go there. Magic missile! Choo, choo, choo.
My response is, it's magic.
Okay.
So Riki's magic missiles seem to be doing a decent amount of damage compared to the attacks that you've been doing, Alarak and Wabani.
Okay, so I've done some damage, but the frickin' thing's not dead yet, and there's not really anything else I can do.
Okay. I will... Oh, can I do this?
Are you doing your Thunder Wave?
Yeah. Is that cool?
You should be able to target both of them.
All right. So I will use my channel divinity. Well, no, I don't need to do that until when I roll thunder damage. Okay. So I will target the two of them. Doof, doof. And I will stomp my foot on the ground, inducing a...
One fails, one succeeds.
Okay, so and then because I'm doing thunder damage, I will do destructive wrath, channel divinity, which I just clicked on and made it disappear. I can't remember what it says now. It says, starting at second level, you use channel divinity to wield the power of the storm with unchecked ferocity. When you roll lightning or thunder damage, you can use your channel divinity to deal maximum damage instead of rolling.
So you feel the essence of Donaru channeled through you as it radiates forth in its attempt to protect you from you falling over and dying.
Yep. So the one that failed takes 16 damage and is pushed 10 feet away. And the one that succeeded takes 8 points damage and is not pushed away.
Okay. So they are resistant to thunder, but that is enough to kill both of them. So can you just describe their demise to me, please?
As I stomp down, I grit my teeth, and as I'm stomping, it's hard to say whether it was my stomp or the drunken belch that caused the thunder to come burst forth from me, but it was the waves emanated out, and with each progressive wave as it emanates out, it shakes the balls, and those balls start to shrivel and unweave as the magic that held them together is stopped.
And with that, they dissipate in front of you, and you're standing in relative quiet compared to the rest of the camp. You can hear nearby screams and people crying. But as you look around for those other energy balls, they have disappeared from view, and there seems to be a level of normalcy coming back to the camp.
That worked better than I thought.
Well done, everyone, but this is horrendous. People must pay. What did that, can we hear anyone? So you say that we can't actually hear any attacks ongoing anymore?
Doesn't make a perception check.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that's a 20.
So, listening out, it doesn't sound like anyone seems to be in immediate danger, but there is still the occasional scream and wailing of pain as you see halflings moving towards the fallen. And trying to pick them up and wake them up, but there's some halflings there that have like half the side is melted away, or they've been charred by electrical energy from the two balls that drifted away.
Aww.
Can I make an Arcana check to see if I can figure out what just happened then?
Yeah, sure.
And can you please reiterate a little bit what Merrick said to us as well?
In a second, I'll just cover Jace. So it's hard to get an understanding of exactly what these are. They feel like they're elemental in nature from the way they looked and the way they behaved, but anything more than that, you couldn't ascertain.
Is there anything left?
Of these balls? No.
Yeah.
They as soon as they perished, they dissipated into the air.
And I will have fallen down to the ground, and I'm working at the healing kit at my belt to heal myself.
Okay. So can you just make a history check to remember what Merrick said before he perished? Riki.
That's a 23.
Okay, so you definitely clearly remember him saying, no, don't take me. I did all that you asked for. I brought you that terrible excuse for a halfling. To the cave you mentioned, I have given everything to you.
Sorry, in the cage you mentioned.
Caves.
Sorry, what?
I'll put it in the text chat.
Hole in the ground.
Caves. Caves, like a hole in the ground. Okay.
I reiterate those words because I remembered it perfectly. I even say it in Merrick's voice.
Yeah, you got the accent and the intonation. That was freakish.
I only wish.
At this point, Dwayne sort of peeks his head out from the tent and goes, is it over? Hello?
Dwayne, thank the gods you're safe. You can live to bake another day. I'm so grateful.
What was that?
I mean, if we knew that, we wouldn't have needed you to come and identify the culprit and do all that, and we're trying to figure it out.
But
I do
have
sort of outs.
What?
Caves.
1 second I was in my shop, and this next second I'm in this strange location covered in with all these tents around here, and all hell has broken loose.
But
do you tend to sleep well?
You've
yes.
Well, there we go.
You've coped terribly, terribly well with this, old Dwayne. Well done, Dwayne. We'll be back to your shops many times in the future. You have my word. Caves. Do you know of any caves around here?
Make an insight check. Okay.
That was a 6.
That was a 6.
That's a bad one.
So he looks to you and goes, No, I don't know any caves. He certainly seems like it's difficult for him to talk. He's very scared.
I hand him a cherry muffin, or 10.
He goes, thank you. Can someone take me to my shop, please?
Unfortunately, there's. Just look around and we'll point out all the halflings that are. I think there's bigger problems here.
Dwayne, are you good at basic medicine? Can you help out?
No, I was never good at that. My love, the thing I wanted most was to cook, not to heal.
But surely you've tended minor burns wounds on yourself from all of that baking.
Look, the best I've done is roll a small bandage. I can help as much as you. I can do a little bit of help, I think, but I think you'll find that I might get in the way.
Well, I think perhaps offering your help in this moment would mean so much to these people.
Okay. Can you make a persuasion check? With advantage.
Okay, the one roll was a 7. The other one was a natural 1.
He goes, look, but I'd rather not. I really want to get back to my shop. That's okay. If you could at least just point me in the direction of where we came from.
I will. But first, could I ask that you take this dozen cherry muffins and hand them out to people you think might need them, and then you can make your way back.
Okay, I can do that much.
And I'm just pointing in a random direction.
Towards the forest.
Oh my god.
Go be with the wolves, Dwayne.
Okay. So he starts wandering around aimlessly, attempting to hand out cherry muffins, but the halflings seem to have other things on their mind and seem to brush him away. So he looks a little dejected and then starts wandering in the direction that Barney indicated, which is nowhere near towards the city.
What kind of a solution have you just architected?
To be honest, I don't care very much at the moment. Those balls were not pleasant.
Great. Yes, let's go find some caves.
How you doing, Alarak? You look like you're a little slightly burnt, or was that a freeze burn?
No, I mean, wasn't the most pleasant station, but I'm fine.
I got some bandages here if you need.
Yeah, I'm good.
But
I'm good.
I should let you guys know that that little skirmish there. Ooh, oh man, my head's spinning. That took the wind out of my sails. I don't think I could do my healing touch anymore. I just got my bandages at the moment.
Well, that's still useful.
Yeah, I'm pretty handy with a bandage. So, the hell
So we
was
can
that?
either help them on the ones that are wounded, if there's any still alive, or we can try and... Is there any more screams? I think we should run after, follow one of them. I think the one that was headed for the main tent. See if, I definitely want to see if the leader of this caravan's okay.
Okay. So is everyone following Alarak?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
wise.
I'll stand up
so-
and follow after him.
You work your way through the camp, and you see the trail of destruction that large yellow electrical energy ball left seems to stop after a certain point, and after that it seems to be normal pristine camps. There's quite a few dead littered around the area. You count 6 or 7 halfling bodies, but no one you recognize that you've interviewed. You see Wetterline sort of working her way through, trying to help out where she can.
How's Carol?
Carol's nowhere to be seen. Oh, you can't see Carol amongst the living at this stage.
Just as we started wandering off, and as I'm trying, thoughts of the battle are still in my mind. Did I recognize anything about what brought those balls of energy forward? Like, did anything not detect magic-ish, but arcanic-ish? Like, did anything strike my mind in terms of what I witnessed, or is it too little, too late?
You can make an Arcana check with disadvantage.
Yep, it will be at disadvantage. Yep, that's a 1.
It's a natural 1. No, the combat left you in a even more dazed state compared to the current level of intoxication you have, and you're struggling to think of putting one foot in front of the other.
What about you, Riki? Do you have any thoughts on what just happened?
Well, I have a bit of a think about it too. Shall I?
Look, you've already had 2 Arcana checks.
Okay.
We'll just leave it for now.
Okay, Riki's pretty obsessed with those muffins she just gave away, and with the thought of caves, and she's still a bit traumatized by the melted halflings. She's really, she feels a little bit like we all felt when we watched the Ewoks all die. I'm just saying.
Happy?
No, I think we might have watched a different movie.
I think it was the same one.
Happy. I like that. So it was Edna's nobleman who caused this, I think, no?
As you guys are discussing this and Alarak is up ahead, you see Wedeline Alarak sort of race up to a body, and she just sort of collapses to the ground and starts crying hysterically.
This is going to sound horrible. Can I insight check this performance or not? See if it's legit, or if she's doing it for the crowd?
You can certainly do an insight check.
Just don't rush up to her, punch her in the face, and scream liar.
That's a 7.
She certainly seems genuinely distressed.
Okay, and can I see who it is that she's crying over?
Not from this distance. You'd have to get closer.
Sure.
Let's get closer.
Yeah, I think we should try and identify any of the ones we pass as well. Like, obviously Merrick's gone, but sort of just discount some of the suspects, some of the halfling suspects. It did work.
Dead.
Yeah, if they were killed by it, they wouldn't have been the ones to summon it. I would assume.
I mean, the whole fact that Merrick was saying "I've done everything you've asked for" doesn't seem to ring true enough in your ears.
Well, I know Merrick's not here anymore. I was talking about the others. Whoever's orchestrating the whole thing.
Okay. So you walk up closer. Are you guys still hanging around, or are you following Alarak?
Well,
Yep.
we're following him. We're concerned about her and the halflings also.
Okay.
I'm not really concerned. I'm just morose.
I think it's a good chance to report to her what we've discovered. I think that's important she knows, and we could gauge
Great
her
timing.
reaction.
Actually,
Yeah.
I want to know about caves.
I'm thinking about that, and as I wander along, I remember how Jace had mentioned some excellent beers, and so I started feeling brighter.
Okay. As you get closer, Alarak, you notice that the halfling that Wedeline is crying over is Edna. She is. You can see that she's crumpled to the ground. There's a large smoking black hole in her back, where you suspect that a lightning bolt struck her at close range.
Well, that's one possibility discounted.
We can't bring her back.
That's
I
a
usually
question for
charge a
Marty, I
fee
think.
for it, but I could try. So I'll go over there and give it a whirl.
What are you doing exactly?
I'm going to try to stabilize Edna.
Okay. As you get closer, this is when Wedeline actually notices you. Go, what happened? What have you guys done?
Please stand aside. Let me see if I can help.
Please, anything for Edna.
Jace steps up and goes to lead Wedeline off to the side to give Wabani room to work and says, Wabani is a skilled healer. He's going to do everything that can be done. We have news. Not wonderful news, but it is. It may turn out to bring a silver lining to this terrible day. Your butler Merrick, he was the one that took your missing performer away. He bought a pie, and he seems to have drugged the pie and disposed of it, the rest of it with the bears. And he took your performer to some caves. Do you know of any caves?
What are you saying? That Merrick did this?
That's right.
Where is he? I need to talk to him.
He's dead. He was pleading. He died pleading and begging with the person who at whose direction he did this. He did not act alone, and we weren't able to spot or identify the person who let loose this rain of destruction. But Merrick was definitely an accomplice.
Okay. Well, if there's anything you can do, I don't know of any caves that Merrick was talking about. Honestly, this bazaar just travels the roads. We don't go traveling anywhere but the major centers. If there's anything you could do for poor Edna. As she's saying that, Wabani, you get up to her. Are you casting any spells, or you?
No. So here's the thing: I can use a healer's kit to stabilize someone who is unconscious, so that they're brought back up to 1 hit point. But I'm just thinking, when I look at her, is she dead?
Make a medicine check.
I will use my bardic inspiration at this point. Ooh, nice. Here we go. 20, dirty 20.
She is well and truly dead. There is no saving her.
I really wish I could help you, Weldeline. But your friend, she is no longer here. That lightning blast, it was more than her measure.
As you say this, she collapses onto Jace, which even she is a halfling, so she doesn't weigh too much, but she is in hysterics now, and you can't say anything edgewise to her to break her free of this these feelings that she's feeling. She's just wailing and crying. No, Edna, no.
And Jace pats her on the back and says they're there and tries to comfort her as best he can.
Did you find anything about caves, Jace?
She doesn't know of any caves. Perhaps your friend at the guard could help us there.
Speaking of which, Riki notices Thelma heading towards you with about 3 of the garrison guard at her back. She looks at the destruction that has occurred here and goes, "What's going on? What is this? What, Alarak? What the hell's going on here? I asked you to investigate, not attack."
Yep, I'll get the cloth, wrap it around my my midsection. Yes, Thelma, good to see you. There was an attack. There's
I can see that. That's as plain as day.
But what's not plain is what did it. It was these energy ball things that were shooting fire and lightning. It was very, very frightening.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
1 second. $11?
She goes, keep talking.
And so there were also medic. He was working with these people. He seemed to be the primary target. He was yelling, pleading for his life when these balls were summoned, and he was saying that he had done exactly what they were after. Please don't kill me. I brought her to the cave. So on that matter we were discussing before, if there's any caves around, that's where I think the perpetrators are.
Caves. Okay. Well, are you happy to continue that investigation to find out where Feldisha is? I can reference some maps back at the garrison to see where the most likely cave would be.
Yeah, of course, we're happy to. I don't like to leave jobs unfinished. I'd much rather see this to its resolution.
Right. Well, I can head back now and get an answer to you if you want to head back to the garrison in about 20 minutes, half an hour. It's getting a bit dark now.
As she's there, before she leaves, I want to say Cordwood Brown. And an insight check.
What? Make an insight check. I love your obsession with Cordwood Brown.
Oh, well, Bonnie's got it. He's got it in his skull. That is a 13. Drop to 16.
She is a bit hard to read, but from what you can tell, she seems confused.
I like to say names.
Okay. Keep that one away.
Cheerio, Thelma.
I've been doing my best. As you can say, I try to keep away. So, we'll be up there I'll be up there without him in half an hour to get those maps, and we'll start investigating those caves. You can trust me, Thelma.
Jace makes sure Thelma sees him there, that he's been working on the job too, then that he's going to need to be paid at the end.
You tip your hat or something.
That's right, yeah.
She kind of looks at you, has a bit of a scowl and walks off. The garrison guards sort of turn and follow her back to the city. What do you guys want to do now?
I wouldn't mind having a little bit of a short rest if you guys are cool with that. Maybe
let's get you a coffee.
I'll get my pants on.
Right. Yeah, I was going to suggest the Filthy Pig, which is just north of here, but maybe a coffee is a smart idea.
Yeah, that all sounds wise. I mean, do we want to? What time is it right now?
It's probably just past dusk. Probably about 10 minutes or so past dusk. It's starting to get dark.
If we can work out the source of these caves, are we ready to go tonight, or do we want to rest and go tomorrow? I mean, there's pros and cons to both approaches.
I don't think they're going to stay around. I reckon time's of the essence.
No, I agree completely.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. Although we are going to be going in very much at a disadvantage. So Barney said his magic spent. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't have any more magic, but I have theories, and I think Cordwood Brown is behind this again. He's using the people in the bazaar to cause strife in order to get leverage against Modano so that Lord and Line can come in and take away all the trade deals.
I mean,
okay, that's interesting and all, but back to me. Did you notice that I was right about the butler doing it?
I think it was the butler, and I think the butler's used up their one biggest, nastiest spell, so if we strike now, there's a chance they'll be underpowered also.
You said Merrick is the butler, and he's dust.
No, he was the butling halfler.
He was the one. He gave the poison pie to the performer. He then took her to the cave. He's very much guilty here, and it was the butler. I knew it was the butler.
But he was just the middleman. He wasn't actually the mastermind. There's work yet to do.
Well, yes, but you're missing the point that I was right.
Kind of.
You are still junior in Dodgy Brothers. You haven't earned full rights. Sorry.
What do I get when I do earn full rights? You keep offering me full rights. Well, pay what?
you get equal portions of the pay. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's right.
I was getting equal portions. What's going on here? How much have you been holding out on me?
So I'll be back. I'm just going. I'll be up at the garrison.
Yes, we all race off to the garrison to get the location of the caves.
Purposely not answering Jace at all.
Clap good old Jace in the back and say, no one can tell you how you write the songs, and the songs will be how people remember these great feats. And keep moving.
Ricky's a full member.
Okay, so you head towards the garrison. You're not having a short rest now, I assume?
That's fine. We're in a rush.
Okay. So
Alora convinced me.
I mean, could he have a short rest while they sort through the paperwork while we're at the garrison?
You'll find out when you get there, I guess.
Before we go see Thelma again, I'm going to get respectable, put some clothes on.
We don't have time, man. Where are your priorities?
You can certainly spend about 5 minutes to actually get your loincloth on.
Fantastic.
It's so complicated to put that thing on. Why does it take so long? I mean, I imagine you must get chafed quite a bit.
It's more like a chastity belt than a loincloth.
His fiance makes him wear it.
I'm just imagining that it's the D&D world version of a sports bra. That's why it's so difficult for him.
For sure.
However you guys want to picture Alarak, that's it.
You can never really take it off because your fiance's got the key.
Now, if we only ever had some listeners who were good at drawing, we could have that perfect image.
Oh yeah. Well, the funny part is just thinking of what he would have to do to go to the bathroom if.
I don't know that anyone wants to draw that.
No, who would? Someone probably would.
All right. So you guys head towards the garrison. Wabani, I'm assuming, is staying outside again.
No, I'll go in this time. They've made me feel yella, so
I just promised her I wouldn't bring you.
Play to your strengths, man. Play to your strengths.
I'm still a little bit tipsy. No, I need to confront my.
Well, Barney, come on. Let's get you that coffee while Alarak checks all the caves.
That does make sense. So yeah, okay, let's go.
Okay, so as you make your way to the garrison, you enter into the building, and you can see Thelma with a couple of guards nearby. She seems to have quite an array of maps spread out across the table, and she's quietly conferring to one of them. And the other guard is sitting down and is quickly drawing something at the table. When she sees you enter, he goes, "Ah, excellent! Right, I've just got Harold here. He's putting together a small mud map where we think these caves are. We narrowed it down to something that someone such as a halfling would be able to carry in only a few short hours. That really only gave us this small mountainside here, and she points to one of her major maps. This one, it's the Eldritch Hills, I think. There
Eldritch
are
Hills?
A few caves there that were old mining caves. I think that's probably your best bet.
Thank you, Thelma. You are helpful as ever. It is a pleasure working with you. Dodgy Brothers will get that done right away.
So you're heading out tonight, are you?
Well, I mean, time is of the essence, isn't it? And if they've committed this murder, I'm guessing they're packing right now. trying to get out.
Listen, she sort of looks around a little bit conspiratorially and goes, "Look, if you're going to go do this, just hold it a second." And she sort of whispers something to the guard, and he runs off and comes back about 2 minutes later, and then hands you a couple of potions. Goes, these will help you. Hopefully you won't need to use them, but they may be of use. And she hands over to you 2 potions of healing.
I am touched. Thank you, Thelma.
And so she's also looking down at your chainmail loincloth with a little bit of disappointment.
As I notice her look down, I'll give her the wink, and I'll thank her again and head off.
If Wobani was there, he'd be talking about your fiance. Goodness gracious.
All right. So, do you want to take a couple of potions of healing out of the item section? I'm sure you can do that. Okay. So, what do you guys want to do?
I'm plucking back coffee that Jace is buying for me.
So, the coffee helps, and you finally find yourself not being intoxicated anymore.
Well, that was quite the experience. I think that's my first time I've had the black stuff. It's pretty good.
Well, there you go. There you go.
In fact, I think all of my spells have come back. He says with a question.
Where's that meteor of mine?
Drink a coffee, your spells come back. Woohoo! Well, I guess now we need to. What's the plan? We're going. I think I heard Alarak saying we're going to go look for a cave. Where is Ricky?
I'm right here, and I endorse the caving.
All right. Do we need spelunking equipment?
Well, look, hopefully they didn't carry her to a cave and chuck her down a deep well. Hopefully they're in a cave somewhere where they can get to in and out of easily. I think we'd be more worried about spells and things. If we come up to a cave and somebody starts slamming spells at us, we know we're at the right spot.
Good point. Let me just see if I can find a shop really quick to replenish my healing supplies. Is there any shops that are still open?
You'd be struggling. It's
all right. Never mind. If there's nothing quick, then no, not gonna spend any time.
Surely you won't be able to use all your healing kit on this little adventure.
It always freaks me out when my healer kit's is not full up. All right,
I also have a healing kit, if that's reassuring.
Ooh, that's very reassuring. In my hands, I work magic with them things.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Where's Alarak?
So, he's right there as well.
Oh.
So Thelma looks on and goes, right, well, you heading out now?
Time's of the essence. We're gonna... Absolutely. We're gonna catch these for you, Thelma.
Good luck. That 125 gold's riding on this.
Well, we've given you info, which was 125, and solving it was an additional 125, so I suppose you're talking about the latter. Excellent.
So you guys get together and start heading out. The caves that were mentioned pretty much south from here, so it'll be a little bit of overland travel. There's no major roads nearby. But the mud map that was given to you, Alarak, seems sufficient enough that you shouldn't get yourself lost. Although it is
fantastic. Is it just me, or is Atua's voice a bit cutting out?
Does anyone else sound like I'm...
I can hear you, but you're a bit more faint than you were before.
I hear you fine.
How about now?
Better.
I hear you finer.
Okay. All right. So can I get you to make a survival check, Alarak, if you're the one taking the lead?
Sure thing. Oh, and I do believe I have. 1 second. Where are those traits? Navigator's tools proficiencies. If I've got a map.
Oh, okay. So that'll be what, a 16 then? Oh no, you're already proficient there. Okay, it's not too hard. The map is decent enough that you spend about an hour or two following it out of the city. It is getting quite dark, and you notice Wabani seems to stumble and trip, unless you guys have some sort of light source.
Oh, I would totally light a torch.
Okay. So with the added help of the torch, the difficulty following the map is lessened, and soon enough you find the Eldritch Hills that Thelma mentioned before.
How far away is it?
It's about 2 hours south. They're only small
torches.
hills, so it's not too much overland travel, but it's in a disused area. There's no major paths, only game trails and such. Okay, so spending another hour to try and find an entrance, you do spot one of the old mining entrances nearby, and it seems to lead into the hills. What would you like to do?
Can we see if any of them look like they've been used recently?
Oh, yes.
Okay, that'll be a survival check.
Is anyone particularly proficient at survival?
I can go have a look for tracks.
Yep, go for it, Alarak.
I'm pretty good at hunting humans.
Oh,
Unfortunately, with a natural one.
Question. If I'm looking for
yes.
humans, and I suspect it's humans, I get advantage tracking them, I think.
Humans or humanoids?
Specific type of humanoid, so I chose humans.
Okay, because these are halflings.
Alright, then no.
So you spend the next 30 minutes looking around this entrance, and you notice some tracks, but it's hard to ascertain exactly what's going on here. I think the day that you've had is starting to affect your senses to somewhat, and you fail to get any decent information.
Do I find some half-orc tracks?
Yes, you do. They seem quite recent.
Might be another half-orc, guys.
We better keep our eyes out.
You guys heading into the cave?
Yes.
yeah.
Keeping an eye out for this half-orc.
So who's taking point?
I'm the big, heavy muscle of the group. I'll take the point.
So, okay.
I'll come up second.
Happy with third. It's been less than 8 hours, so I've still got mage armor on, haven't I?
It has been, yeah. You're still fine with mage armor. Okay. So can I get Alarak and Wabani to make... how are you entering? You just walking through the cave?
I wanted to be quiet about it. Wanted to try and be hush-hush about it. We're entering their base, so they don't know we're here yet. Let's... no need to give away that element of surprise.
Well, everybody will
in
have
that
to roll.
case, in that case, I will stay at the entrance with my torch, coming up the rear, trying to give them as much space, just keeping them just in the dim part of the light. So they're roughly 40 feet in front of me.
Okay. Can I get everyone to make a stealth check, please?
Eight
I
for
just-
me.
Rolled a 7.
That's a 5.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Eight.
7, 8, 8, and a 5. And you did roll a 20 as well, TD. That's such a shame. That,
I did. It's this loincloth.
It's that loincloth. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. All right. So you start to progress slowly into this cave. Wabani is doing his best to keep the torchlight at a distance, but he has this sense of fear being too far away from the group and keeps rushing up, which seems to ruin the effect. Thankfully, what you move up to doesn't seem to notice you as you progress quite poorly through the cave system. Alarak, as you come around a corner, you can see this cave tunnel opens out, and it's a large cavern. And floating around in this large cavern, you see about 4 or 5 of those same balls of energy that you saw before.
Well, shit. I'll motion to the other guys behind me to stop. I'll say to, I think Jace is right behind me, or is it Ricky?
Wabani, I think.
Well,
No.
no, Wabani
No.
went to the back.
Right,
Because he
there's
has
more
the
of
light
those.
source.
There's
So
more of
it's
those
Ricky
energy
next.
balls. More of those energy ball things. Are you guys ready to fight them?
I mean, if we're quick enough, and we wait until they're all either 5 or 10 feet, are they? How big is the space? Because I have a couple of area effect spells I can drop on them from afar if they don't notice it.
This cavern is relatively large, and they're quite spread out at this point in time. The 4 or 5 of them.
Okay, that's a no. But I'm ready to fight whenever everyone else is.
Jace levels his crossbow.
Okay, so you're going to come in guns blazing, as it were?
Yeah.
So I noticed them stopped in front of me. So I guess I'd stop at least 20 feet back, trying to not get my torch in the way. They're whispering, aren't they?
I certainly hope so.
So I'm just kind of like waving the torch a little bit, trying to get their attention. Like, what's going on?
So I'm gonna, with my hands, I'm gonna make like a ball shape, and just point up that way.
Are they casting light? Those ball shapes?
They do illuminate light, yes. So the red ones illuminate red light, blue light, so on and so forth.
And enough that I can see the glow, and I can just drop my torch and kind of sneak up beside the guys.
Make a perception check.
I will do that. That is a 10.
So you've got a bit of light blindness going on at the moment from carrying the torch in front of you, and it's hard to see anything else apart from the torch light that has been granted. You do catch the glimmer of maybe a little bit of red light, but it's gone before you can think about what that is.
So I'll just leave the torch then where it is, and I'll crawl up and I'll just wait. Basically, I guess crouch down until my eyes adjust.
So we don't see anything else in the chamber apart from these glowing balls? So they're kind of like a trap set up for people who enter?
So the far side of the chamber is impossible to see. It's quite a large chamber, and these balls are illuminating their own light, or creating their own light, but they don't light the far side of the chamber. So it could go on for a while. It could taper off to another cave tunnel. It's hard to say.
How
Okay.
many do you see?
I believe there were 5. And were they bigger? And were any of them pleasant?
Pleasantly tall. There certainly is one of them that was the same size before, that big ball of energy.
Right, there's one big one. There's 4 small ones. Do we want to take out the small ones first, or focus on the big one? I reckon small ones. They go down pretty quick.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So, what I might do is stop it here for tonight, and we'll pick this up next week.
Sounds good. Good place to
Excellent.
stop.
Where we should be able to finish this adventure off fairly quickly, and we'll move on to the next one. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I'm
just thinking, you've just broken Murphy's Law, and we won't finish next week.
Oh, it can't be too bad.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen?
That's right.
Yeah, what's the
TPK.
worst that could happen?
I think it would be the worst if Jace passed away.
Yes,
Glad that's the worst thing you can think of.
Or if his hair caught on fire, that would be bad too.
He truly became bald. Yeah.
that would be the worst thing.
He never got the brush that was promised.
Okay. Well, thank
right.
you for listening. I hope you had a good time. Remember, you can find us on Twitch, YouTube, Podbean, and Discord. See the details in the descriptions below. And if you want to vote, come join us on the Feldipig server. Toodaloo.
Thank you, everybody. See you
Thank
next
you.
week.